Hey guys, this is a really quick how-to video on a DRZ400. So what I'm gonna show you is how to remove the swing arm bolt. I don't know, I'm just doing maintenance because it's cold and it sucks to ride. So I feel like doing something with the bike. You can see I've already got it out here and I've just kind of slathered on red and tacky grease. And I'm actually in the process of putting it back in. And while I'm doing this, I was like, I should have done a how-to video. So let me show you this. Right now, I've still got the punch in there that I used to punch the thing out of there with, but you're gonna need a 22mm socket. This bolt is held on, when you tighten it back up, it's 55 foot-pounds of torque. And I've just got this in there now, just to make sure the swing arm doesn't move. But it doesn't really move, and it moved just slightly on the inside when I was putting it back in, but I could easily just push it down with my finger on the inside of the frame to line it back up. Now I do have it lifted up on a stand. The rear tire was resting on the ground, but there's just not a lot of weight back there. So there's that. Now, when I first started this, it was seized in there, but not super bad. So what I did is I leaned it over onto the right side of the bike so that this was facing up. And I just sprayed in there PB Blaster, enough to kind of fill this area and let it kind of seep and soak in. Luckily, this isn't a really bad case of it being seized. And it actually started dripping out. It started kind of on the backside of the swing arm, ran down, and I actually put this pig mat underneath it to absorb what was dripping out. So as I was doing that, I was like, well, this might not do what I was hoping it would, but it ended up working. And what I did, you can use an air hammer if you have an air hammer accessible, but you don't want to damage the threads on that swing arm bolt. So what I did is I found a little nut. This is not a nut, this is a bolt. Here it is. Let me get on the other side. All right. Let's call it the right thing. So a little bolt. This is the same diameter as the actual swing arm, whatever you want to call it, bolt, pivot, whatever. So I could drive it in through, let me remove this, through that inside hole. And so what I did is I just put the punch right into the end of that thing and hit it with my hammer. That way it wasn't going to booger up the threads. If it is very bad, I could see boogering up the threads. It would be an easy thing to do. If you look online, there are directions on how to build a little press that looks pretty handy. That's the way I would do it. If it's stuck very hard, look online, look for DRZ400 swing arm bolt seized, something like that, and you should be able to find a do-it-yourself press. All it is threaded rod that goes through here, goes to the other side into a bigger pipe, and then you start threading the nuts on there on that threaded rod, and it's basically pushing that bolt out that way, but it's a lot less damaging than like an air hammer. So hopefully you don't need that. But yeah, we're gonna push it right back through. Now I've actually got a hammer on the other side, so I will take you with me while I do that. And I didn't gob it on there because it's such a tight fit. This grease is gonna come off a lot of it. But you can see I'm just tapping it in there. There goes my punch on the other side. So we're just gonna keep tapping it in. I'm gonna turn it just a little bit. Let me grab my pliers here because it's gotta fit in there. So the good thing is there's not a nut on both sides. Now this bike is a 2007. I have no idea past history on it. I was hoping that the person that I bought it from had done this, but I'm gonna say by the lack of any grease on it, it's never been done. So, good thing is, this will probably take care of it for the rest of its life. If you're going through creeks, that type of thing, moisture can get in there and cause corrosion, that type of thing. So this grease we're putting it in there to try to keep that from happening. You see I'm pushing down on the brake here. Only reason I'm doing that is so it clears the arm. Look at how easy that is going through. All right, we're gonna turn it a little bit so it fits in there. It always helps if you make a noise when you do it. Wee, wee. There we go. Okay. Tap it back in, hit the frame first for good measure. And now there's a little bit of grease on that. We're gonna wipe that off, pretend it never happened. And we're gonna go to the other side and put that nut on it and torque it down to 55 foot-pounds. So if this video helped you out, you comment and like it if you would. At least like it, that really helps me out. And that lets me know that the how-to videos I'm doing on my DRZ are helpful to you. Also, I recently equipped, if you see my other videos, my bike was blue. Recently put this 3.9 Acerby's tank on there. And I'm pretty happy with it. It's not bad. I've done a bunch of research. Looked at IMS, looked at Safari, looked at Clark, looked at Acerby's, if that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. And ended up going with this. So I didn't want the black tank with blue and white plastics. So we're converting it all to black. And I've got some custom graphics coming that are gonna be cool. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that's how you do the swing arm bolt. Super easy. If it's not seized, this is a 15-minute job. So there's no reason not to do it. All right, thanks guys. I'll catch you later.